Hi, my name is August Lynch, and today I will be talking about my own model of communication. So when we were talking in our group discussion, I defined communication as being the exchanging of ideas, feelings, and information. And many of my classmates said something very similar. Communication is a very broad term, so here's the most simple diagram model of how communication works. The sender is giving the message to the receiver. The receiver is receiving the message, whether that message is verbal or just even a look, because we know that verbal is not always with word. Communication is not always verbal. It can be nonverbal as well. So this is the channel of, we're just going to say he's talking. So, and then we don't know if the receiver can always be an audience, a mass audience of thousands. Maybe the audience could just be one person, so that would just be interpersonal. And that's the most basic definition of communication I can think of, is just two people talking, having a conversation, taking turns talking. That's the most basic, but there's many other forms of communication. There could be feedback. So again, my definition, my model is, it shows right here that the sender is merely just giving the message to the receiver, so there is no feedback or an arrow pointing to the sender. So in this model, there is no feedback, but in many other cases there would be. And maybe the two people are in a room and there's much more noise in the background, or it could be disrupting their conversation. It could be kind of loud to hear. That could be one type of noise, or their interpretation of the message being given. That's another type of noise. Maybe in their emotional state, they could be hungry, they could be tired, they could just misunderstand the message. So that's just another type of the noise that could happen in the model of communication. And in this instance, me talking, I'm the sender of information, I am the speaker, and you would be the audience just listening to me speak. So that is also a form of communication. And in this instance, your feedback might be in the form of a text letting me know how I did on the presentation. And so we communicate that way. But that was just that instance. But we also communicate through ads, protest, talking, text, and communicating can apply just by the way you enter a room. So that's nonverbal, your body language. That all applies to communication. So there are verbal forms of communication, there are nonverbal forms of communication. And so how you bring about yourself to communicate to others, it can mean a world of a difference. You might not even realize you're being judged by what you're communicating, because your body language could say it all of what you were meaning to say. Like, actions speak louder than words. Your words could mean one thing, but your action means totally different things, so that's communicating. But this model of communication that I did right here, it can be so broad as it can include many different things. So that is my model of communication. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again sometime soon.